got a copy of the agenda and it was emailed out as well, so we'll entertain a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, public input.
We gotta approve our minutes.
Oh. I didn't have that on here.
Did
Did it?
There you go.
No, because I used the same agenda, we didn't have it.
I don't care if you approve them or not. I mean, it's
Okay.
up to y'all, but.
You got a copy of the minutes and they were emailed out as well, even though a little late this afternoon, but, we'll entertain a motion to approve those or changes to them.
So moved to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Kids looking over my thing.
Before letting you read.
That's terrible.
No questions. I'm good.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now back to public input. We have anything from the audience? All right. To committee and authority member reports, we don't have any committees yet, so none of those. I don't know if any of that, I knew nothing from the members that they needed to report either, so we'll move to the treasurer's report. Did you get any financials?
I did not, been out of town for 2 weeks and had no financials. I will have those for the next week, so apologies, gentlemen.
No apologies necessary. And right to Randy, it's all yours.
Moving right along.
I mean,
Yeah, the handouts I gave you earlier, one is the estimate to do a complete tear down, move it from the rec center location on, off of the Boys and Girls Club off Camp Road. And the other one, it was an estimate only, but he said he feels very confident in those figures. The second one is if you took a photograph of that building as it sits now and imagine it at the airport, the $20,000 is what it's going to cost to dismantle, move, and put it back together. Now that doesn't include any hidden costs of electrical, AWAS, computer, fuel master, any other. And I talked to Jack earlier about septic or tie in to or do a sewer system or septic tank drain field. I do have one pilot at the airport. If in fact it does have to have a septic tank and drain field, a pilot will donate that, the entire cost, and install it free of charge as a donation to the county. It's his business. He wants to contribute, build Durham. And we have a heating and air conditioning guy, Gus Suarez. He said he would check over all the air conditioning units, clean the ducts, make sure everything's JOTO when we get it hooked back up. He would do that also for a charitable donation to the county.
Is the property ready to put this unit on it, or does that got to be some work done to it?
I think the property itself is basically flat. We may have to do some brick blocks and level it up slightly, but
There's not a lot of
it's
prep
not
here
much.
required for it.
Do they want to, quick question, when this $20,000, if this was to come to fruition, do they want to put, normally when they do a triple wide, they do concrete footers and then start the brick off of them. Are they going to do it this way, or they just going to want the brick off the dirt?
I think they're gonna brick off the dirt.
Okay.
That seemed to be what Don was
Suggest,
thinking.
because I think this thing would end up being there for 3 to 5 years, that it would be worth doing the concrete footer to keep this thing level, personally. I think that'd be a better
I agree with that.
approach.
I agree.
It adds a little bit of cost to it, but otherwise, I think in 2 years, we're gonna be dealing with leaks and movement of that.
I agree.
Could you get them to give us, tweak that in, what it costs to put concrete footers on?
Yes, sir, I sure will. Be glad to.
and Randy, is that replacing the roof or moving the roof?
Yes, sir, that's taking it off and reinstallation of the roof and siding. And they may have to go
So take a picture
back.
of what it is now and drop it over there.
And he's well aware of this.
Decks as well?
Excuse me?
Decks as well?
Yes, decks and the aluminum siding that goes on both sides, along with the handicap accessible ramp in the rear of the building and the front porch. So exactly the way you see it, one spot transport.
Turnkey job.
Yes, sir. Now, again,
Might not be that
I'm gonna
bad.
throw out about $10,000 for electrical, computer, fuel master, And we do wanna use our crew to go in and re-sheet rock the entire thing before we're open for business. So we'll probably co-locate during the move, less than 30 days, once the AWAS and the fuel masters moved and our 2 credit card machines, we should be up and running. I would like to see if the commissioners could find a soft spot in their heart to put some asphalt in front of that building once we set it down, you know, maybe through
You
time.
want it smooth or just be dump over a little?
You just dump it, I'll smooth it. I got me a Kubota.
Randy, where are you thinking of locating this? Because
Just
when we walked this, we looked at a couple different
northwest of Ted's black utility trailer. In fact,
Yeah.
Paul and I went out, staked it out, and there's 4 stakes with the ribbon on the stake.
So-
If you move it to the west, after we got it there, if you wanna see what we're looking at, here are the 2 hangars now, the new hangars. Those are the ones that are existing, the 18 hangars. Here's taxiway in, and here's the horseshoe tunnel.
Correct.
There's the location.
So you would come into this unit, by home and run
Right
through
here
here?
on paved
Correct.
road, and we park.
We've already got-
We've already got power.
parking spots
We've
there.
got
Yes.
power and water already there.
Yes,
Sewer
right
line
across the street,
sewer.
yes.
There's a manhole right
Way
here.
over here, but it'd be cheaper to put a.
Well, we're not right next to sewer
If there's
too.
if there's.
Yes, well, there's a sewer
If there's sewer.
access duct
Oh,
right
so we
there,
won't
too.
We
be
need to
septic
move,
system.
We're
we
hoping
centered
Yeah.
the building in
Begin to
this,
fall.
right here.
But if we do need to hook up, I think Bill
10
Jones
feet
coming
this
to do
way,
that.
just cause it's
That's
getting
nice.
close to that
That's
bank
just
right
damn
there.
nice.
It's
I
a
mean,
little
what he's saying.
horseshoe. But there's 4 stakes out there, that's a little hard for them.
But we couldn't, I know Randy's talking about some more asphalt, but couldn't this thing be moved closer to this parking area here?
Well,
And then-
if
and
we
then
set
have
it back
walk-
about, if we set it back about 18 feet from the edge of the curb,
Yeah,
there would be, if we took the curb and put it on a 45-degree angle, we could have parking along the front of the building. It's like a
Already
door.
there.
but you gotta jump up on the,
Yeah.
I'm talking about staying on this, you already got parking there.
Oh, sure, we could put it closer to the curb and we wouldn't need to set back.
I'd put it closer to the curb with less setback.
Yes.
And if we figure out that we need additional parking, you could come to the
They could park
north
around back.
and put a cut in the curb and use that area for
Well, there's
parking.
several parking spaces there if you count.
I agree, I
Yes.
agree.
Oh,
Not
yes.
that you need any additional parking, but if you did.
But I think there's a pad mount transformer right there, right close.
There is, it's a huge transformer. It was added additionally when we had the dinner under the
Yeah, well, I put
stars
it, you know, there's
event.
a service out there, 200 amp
Yeah.
service, but it'd take more of triple wide, you got
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
probably about 300 amp
So
service.
we've got a good starting location for
Yeah.
electricity.
Okay, Commissioner, at one point you were discussing trying to move that out from under and leave that existing.
I was, and would still like to, but if it's gonna be that much of an issue, what I thought, we just put the triple wide over there and just let them fix the roof on the triple wide, and just leave that roof there, and I could have, that way the recreation center could have,
A covered area.
well, that, but I was looking for batting cages with a roof over, it, where they could.
As close to that bank it is, I wonder if you've got room to bring the things out, even if you tried to do that.
Might not have.
Yeah.
They'd have to bring them out towards
They'd have
South
to-
Main Refuge Road,
They'd
yeah.
have to
Yes.
take fence down.
Yes.
And move it.
Come out east.
Yes,
Cause you'd wind up tearing up Jack, you'd come off the backside.
Yeah.
true.
And we met with Brian and he was,
Thank you.
showed us everything, and he wasn't unhappy if we had to take the fence down.
But if we lose the roof, if they need the roof and we lose the roof, I just don't know till Randy gets talked to him a little bit
Yeah.
more, but, if I could leave the roof there, it'd be wonderful. If we have to take all that down and move it, might as well just go ahead and take it over yonder and
Yeah,
Put it
and
back
that-
over
and
there.
that, and that's part of the $20,000 estimate. That's including taking off the roof and the front and rear porch and moving them to the airport and reassembly.
Right.
So, he may be able to, jockey some money around, funds around, make it cheaper, and then we could go with another contractor to put it up once the building's moved. But it looks pretty nice already.
I do worry about taking that many pieces of wood down and reusing them.
Oh, I do too.
The quality issue of it.
Well, the good thing is all the posts are sitting on concrete with steel, U-shaped channels underneath the beams, so they're not in contact with soil.
There will be
And
some
they
new
look
material
pretty-
have to be used.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no two ways
and
about
that-
it. No two ways about it.
Speaking
What
of,
we were looking at was just taking the porches off
tried,
and then spread the trailers out, and then just pull them out, climb underneath the roof, and just leave the roof intact. That's what we originally thought, but
Triple wides, they've got to, I'm not sure that, I'd have to
Yeah.
They're
talk.
gonna have to take some metal.
I'd have to talk to the
before you-
movers.
yeah, the metal on the gable end will have to come off,
Right.
understandable. But,
Yeah,
it is,
all of
I was probably a truss roof anyway, so it'd be clear span.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll get with the movers and get another report for the
Okay.
next one.
What's the next step with this, Commissioner? What do we do next?
In regard to this?
Yes.
I need to, if the county attorney will let me bring it up into the meeting Thursday night, I can at least run it by the two commissioners to see if they'd be amenable to the project. And,
Yes.
and see, I can discuss it with the CFO tomorrow, Chief Financial Officer, see if there's any, funds floating around. One way or the other's gotta come out of there, whether we take it out to destroy it, or take it out to put it over at the airport, at least we can get some use out of it.
Right.
It's gonna cost us one way or the other.
Right.
So,
So we'll leave it in your hands for this point, and then take your guidance.
well, I'll do some checking on it, but, yeah, I was going, now that he's got it together, so I've got Thursday night, I'm doing an amendment to the agenda, let me at least talk about it.
Okay.
Might not have to take no action.
I have a call sheet at work. I talked to 7 movers, both mobile home and house movers. He's the only one, after looking at it, would even dare to give me an estimate. Next is, you have your August fuel sales sheets. There was a little handout. It's just showing you our monthly. We had a really good civilian Jet A turn for the month of August, and it seems to be picking up as well. Pretty much above average on 100 low lead. Our fuel price, we didn't make as much profit, but we kept our prices reasonable. So we did have a high traffic flow. It's looking good. We may have to purchase Jet A before the end of September, but on a good note, it's going down. So if we keep our price the same, we'll still make a tidy offset for the 100 low lead. The last thing I have is that our budget issues for financials. July, we were projected to be 58.3% or less. We came in actual at 40% of budget. And for August, we were projected to be at or below 66.7%. We came in actual at 43% of budget. So we're really watching our budget, just so you know, trying to save money everywhere we can. Our zero turn, we had a couple complaints about landing on the grass east of the runway because the zero turn is getting the exhaust manifold studs and gasket put back on. So we've been having to cut with the bush hog, but we're getting a pretty good cut out of the bush hog. It's just some of the tail draggers are not really happy about it, but we're getting there. I expect by tomorrow we'll have the fields cut and still looking good. We had a great turnout last Friday for our lunch. The next one is going to be October the 14th. So if you get a chance, the chairman was over, Paul was over today, so.
Were there any complaints about that?
Not one complaint.
Wasn't a lot of leftovers.
There wasn't a lot of leftovers. Yes, that's right. He was, he was there. He was there. That's all I have, sir.
Randy, question for you. You may have to go back and think about this, but do you have contracts with anybody else that the authority would have entered into under the 7-man that we need to re-execute now that we're a 5-person authority? Besides our engineers?
Offhand, I don't believe we do.
What about
We are not bound by contract to Perry Brothers, although we use them. They're not a contract. We have open fuel master. The only contract we have is minor for the merchant card for the military. It's $20 a month, but it's not putting the airport authority in any liability issues at all.
What about the maintenance on the AWAS?
The maintenance on the AWAS is a contract. It's been going for 7 years now with the same person. It's $250 a month, and he's the only one certified in northwestern Georgia that can do it. He does about 19 different airports, so it's $250 a month. The bill comes in regular. It's budgeted, and so I just turn in the sheet to pay, and it gets paid every month.
Is that a contract that we should review and re-sign then? Kind of the question of, I think.
I'll check on
Don's
that.
asking.
I'm not sure we even have a paperwork contract other than just a verbal agreement.
Maybe
He's
a
the only,
question for Mr.
he's a
Banks.
certifying official in the state of Georgia to do it.
Should be under contract services, I mean, just,
I'll check with Faith tomorrow.
Okay,
Got it.
thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Engineers report, Jack, anything?
Nothing major, but just kind of highlight a few things. Talked to Scott Sarrett today about, as you know, that Scott is no longer going to be your GDOT aviation programs rep. Jim Castleberry is taking his place. Jim is former FAA, and I would suggest that the authority members meet with Jim, either have him come up here or go to GDOT just to talk about, y'all's vision for the airport. With him being from FAA, he'll be able to help you pretty much like Scott will. So just kind of throwing that out there, so suggest that. The only thing was Scott and Jim said today that they're working on the next reimbursement request for reimbursements for the $150,000 entitlement that goes towards the land acquisition. So that's just going through the process. We've got, as Randy said about the triple wide, he had asked me about the septic. We'll go out there and look at it. I'm not quite sure about, so far as the connection, but we'll just kind of look at that and see what would be best for you as far as money-wise. Septic tank are connected to the system. Something we need to look at also is just a building permit, what the county is going to require so far as you bringing that over to the new location, so there's not anything that's kind of throws at you knuckleballs down the road. And whatever we can do to help you with that. The fuel master, so far as run lines for it. Your CIP, your capital improvement program, unfortunately, it's coming around the corner. Amazing that at the end of the years, we're looking down that path. So GDOT likes to have it, wanted to have it by December 31st. Now they're wanting to try to have it first December, end of November. So they can, instead of everybody submitted at the last second, and they have to jump through hoops to make it happen. So what we've been trying to do is, and just throw it up to you guys, is we try to have it ready by Thanksgiving. And you can vote it at the next authority meeting, which is your second Monday, or try to have it to your authority meeting in November, whatever your schedule's going to be.
And how much work needs to be done to update that for the year? What?
Right now, what I would suggest is you set up a workshop. Just make sure that we're going in the direction that you want to go so far as the CIP. It's just a lot of paper. There's a marginal amount of paperwork that we have to do to submit that and get your signatures on. And just like any bureaucracy, there's forms that we have to do for the federal side as well as the state side. So it's not complicated, but it is tedious. So what I would suggest is try to do a workshop where everybody gets together, maybe out at the airport, look at the ALP, look at what we submitted this past year, and then you see if that's the direction you want to go. If it is simple, just change the dates, because we had the apron expansion, and then we had hangars. Those have been pushed back a year or two based on trying to get this.
So there's not a lot of updates, it's just look at it and confirm it.
Yes, sir. So it's one of those, you can either do a workshop or look at it independently and then come back and, however you want to do it, we'll be glad. But that's just something that you need to try to get into the mechanics so the wheels can start moving. And that's pretty much all I've got, short and sweet. Any questions? Now, I guess the improvement projects, we had the apron and then the hangars. I know you have a washout, I know you have some pavement issues, so yeah. I think when you go forward with those, that you can use some of the millings or the material for the hangar or for the taxiway project, fill in that washout. I haven't been out there in a month or so, so I don't know if it's getting worse.
It is.
But GDOT knows about those, and they know they're going to be kind of an alternative to the next project that comes out, and they understand that, so.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, old business, the only thing I see is just, and I don't think we require any action, but just an update on our, sending out our RFQ for the engineers. They're due back the 19th. What I would anticipate is that we probably have a work session where we review those and maybe even by that point narrow down who we wanted to talk to. So once we get those, I'll communicate by email as far as scheduling that and getting notices out.
And they were going to be electronic submissions, or we're scanning those in so you can get them out to us?
That, yeah,
So we can review in advance.
we asked for hard copies and I'll scan them and email them out to you.
Good.
All right. Anything else under old business? All right, new business. Does anybody have anything to bring before us?
I know this may not be the really time to bring it up, but it's something we need to keep in mind as far as the hangar project, the deposits and the letters and stuff, and where we stand, because that's going to come up again.
We should send an update out to everybody on that list, and I'm willing to take that on if I can get a copy, and I think I have it, of email addresses for everybody, and I'll draft a letter, circulate it to you guys, just, you know, an update of here's where we are from a timeline, and I don't think we're going to break ground this fall. It's going to be spring of the year, probably March by the time we break ground. If anybody wants a refund, we give them a refund. If they want to stay on the list, they stay on the list, and you know, the list adjusts by whoever drops off.
Does the county, they're holding the
The
deposit?
county's holding the deposits, yes. It's deposited in county funds at this point, so
I think that'd be very appropriate. Thank you for
I'll handle that part.
volunteering.
Pleasure. Hey, I'm back from Europe, I got a little free time.
I have a question for the commissioner. The dirt that's being removed from around the vehicle maintenance facility, the old jail, you familiar? Up behind the dump, up behind the recycling center.
We use that, that's some good clay that we use to fix roads with. Is that what
Okay.
you're talking about right there above the
Yes.
fuel farm?
I was just curious, if you needed a place to put that, I have many locations that can use that dirt if you don't need it. So if you ever get in a bind, you need a place to dump it.
I appreciate
Give me a call.
We're all hard. What a
We
guy,
have-
always thinking of.
That's right, I'm trying to help you out. We're trying to help you out.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, let me check that rope out.
All right. Nothing else? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right.